Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Ball Talk podcast. With me today, I've got Jack Ritchie,
Ethan?
Benjamin White,
Hello.
and Angus Edwards.
Nice being back.
Oh, it's good to have you back, mate. Good to have you back. And have we got a podcast and a half for you today?
Have we?
Yes, it's all right. So we'll get right into the nitty gritty, and we'll start off with Pochettino and his too-match ban, 10k fine. What's everyone's views on it?
Yeah, so I thought I'd read the story a bit. I've sourced this from BBC Sport. Basically,
You're going to say the Sun, then.
Pochettino says he's in shock after being given an unfair two-match ban, touchline ban, for angrily confronting referee Mike Dean after a 2-1 defeat against Burnley. He's also been given a £10,000 fine. So that's what I've sourced. I just want to see what everyone's opinions.
I'm not sure of two-match ban. I think that's a bit harsh. I know, like, he got in his face a little bit, but I think like a fine would have been enough for me, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I can see that, like, why they've done it, because they've got to anything like arguing with the referees or just like that sort of abuse towards the referees got to be punished. But
yeah, I mean, it is the referee's decision, so you can't really sort of have a go at the
oh yeah,
refs.
like once he's given it, he's given it. But obviously, I suppose when there's
I
like
think
emotions involved.
in defence of Pochettino, when you're in the moment, you don't know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? I think euphoria carried him away a bit.
I didn't expect two matches.
Yeah, but he's the manager. He should be setting an example to his players.
Which he normally does, but
this is good that they've given him a two-match ban, because now he might think twice about going up to the ref, and so will his players.
Or do you reckon it should have been more than 2 matches?
No, I don't think it should be more. I think 2 matches is enough to say, don't do it again. And other people look at that as well and say, oh, I ain't going to do that.
Plus, he's got a £10,000 fine as well. I mean, that's probably doesn't mean much to him, but
I know, that's pittance.
Yeah.
But I think you do get carried away when you're in. You know, we've played football before. Emotions do carry you.
Yeah.
And I can see where he's coming from.
But then the difference is they're in the limelight. They're on TV and people watch them.
Yeah.
There should be professional enough to be able to keep their head.
Comes down to people.
Mate, we had like 8 or 9
to
parents watching us. That's a big crowd.
Yeah.
But no, I think it does come down to obviously just poor conduct from him on his behalf. But he did get carried away in his defence.
Yeah.
But then it's like players get carded when the ref, you know, when they give the ref a bit of grief. So it should be the same for the managers.
They should do that more as well, because they seem to be getting lenient on that as well.
Yeah. Have you got anything else to add, Richie? Or
nah, not really. I think that's about it, isn't it?
yeah, it's not really the biggest topic, but we'll move on.
Felt like it had to be brought up.
Yeah, this podcast does nothing but roll on, so we'll move on to the Champions League results. Ajax, what a turn up for the books.
Oh, what a result! I mean, just couldn't at the Bernabeu.
They were so good.
Yeah,
played incredibly well.
Dusan Tadic.
Some of the young talent in that team. De Jong, obviously, I know De Jong's gone to Barcelona at the end of the season, but they've got some really good young players there. Neves as well. So maybe they're the team on the up. Maybe they're going to do what Roma did last year, get to the semis.
Ajax used to be a really, really big superpower in football as well. They may be on the resurge.
That'd be good, to be fair. It'd be nice to see. No, like, obviously Porto went through as well, so it'd be nice to see them sort of teams like shining again.
I want to see an upset. I want to see Ajax go on and do it.
It would be nice. You don't see it often enough. It's always like Real Madrid, Barcelona, you know, the typical teams winning it. It'd be so nice to see Porto, Ajax, someone like that winning it.
Was that was it Mourinho that took Porto? I can't remember if they won Champions League or it was Europa, but yeah, it would be nice to see that sort of story happen again. And obviously, Man United being beating PSG. Neymar was moaning. Obviously, because
sorry, it'd be nice if even Man United won it. To be fair, just obviously with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being the manager.
Oh, don't say that.
Imagine. It would be nice just for him in that sense. I'm not like that fussed in the sense that I would like to see Man United win it, but for him as a manager, it would be nice. It's like Di Matteo winning it for Chelsea. I wasn't that bored about Chelsea, but that was, you know what I mean. It was so nice seeing him win it.
Yeah.
And then still didn't get the job.
I know, yeah.
So,
or he got sacked like 6 months after it or something.
yeah, what a joke. Yeah, that was it.
Can you imagine McTominay being a Champions League winner though?
Oh, can you imagine him starting? Well, obviously playing against PSG. So for them to do it with so many injuries as well, it just shows how far they've come in such a short space of time.
Shows you Mbappe can't do everything.
Yeah, I think he was a bit quiet, wasn't
he? Yeah. And then next week we got Man City, Schalke, Juventus, Atletico, Bayern, Liverpool, Bayern, and Barcelona, Lyon.
Oh, Bayern, Liverpool will be a good one.
What's everyone's predictions?
The Allianz.
City home to Schalke. I'll say 2-1.
I think City gonna get through. Yeah, probably about 2-1.
Juventus, Atletico.
Atletico for me.
What's the?
They've gone through.
The aggregate is 2-0.
Got
to Atletico,
advantage. I suppose there's a lot of pressure. It just depends if Ronaldo turns up.
Obviously, the next two games aggregates are 0-0. Bayern Munich and Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool away.
Yeah, anything can happen.
The problem is, I'm going to say Bayern just because Liverpool are in a little bit of a rut, in my opinion, in the way they're playing. And if they get out of it, then they can easily beat Bayern.
I think Liverpool have just gone a bit too defensive. They've gone a bit too defensive.
They're not looking like themselves.
Nah.
The front three at the minute, not. I mean, going back to the Merseyside derby, I was watching them. Their attack wasn't really on.
Yeah, we spoke briefly about this last week, and we did say they weren't quite themselves. None of them were, to be fair. So like I said last week, there's like Milner come on, who's like so reliable, and even he came on and did absolutely. He was just playing the ball out of play. Passes were shocking. It just showed they're just a bit. Obviously, Van Dijk was just like really solid as usual, but like even some other players who normally have quite good strong games like Robertson and people like that weren't great. But I think another team I'd quite like to see do well is Lyon. I would actually really like Lyon to get far. They've got some really good players. You've got Fekir, Depay. They've got that midfielder. I think he's Ario or he's something. He's young. I'm not exactly sure his name, but I think people know who I mean. But he looks really good. They've got some really good young players there.
The thing is, they've got such a bad draw in Barca.
Yeah, but what was it? They lost 2-1, did they?
0-0 last game.
There you go. That's all right.
So they're doing well.
Good.
Just pinch a goal, maybe part of the bus.
Yeah, it's good that they're still in the tie. That's all they could ask for, really. Still to be in the tie.
So it's going to be an interesting one, and we'll dissect those games that happen a bit more in depth next week.
One more thing I'm briefly going to mention is actually Dusan Tadic got a 10 out of 10 rating in the Champions League, I think it was, and he's the 9th player ever to get that. So that just shows how far he's come from sitting on the bench at Sunderland. Sunderland? At Samson.
Thinking of Grayson too much, mate.
Yeah, I know. Sunderland till I die. sitting on the bench at Southampton, and now he's playing at Ajax in the Champions League and absolutely tearing it out.
He's loving his football.
I'm saying that,
exactly.
how much he went to Ajax for?
10 mil, wasn't it?
Yeah, 10 mil. That's absolutely nothing in today's market as well.
Yeah.
That's cheap, yeah. Today's market, that is a cheap.
No, he's already
still,
he doubled it with just that game, I would imagine, the transfer
Yeah.
fees. Just
So,
Yeah, they're not doing
Ajax
so
paid
well in the
properly.
league. Obviously, second in the other Divisi, but they are second to PSV.
to be
You know,
fair, if they
it's
got
not like-
further in the Champions League, I
Yeah.
reckon they would take that because they don't normally get far. So, which I can see them doing.
I'd definitely like to see them win it. I think they're my pick. They're my pick
I
to
like
win.
to see Ajax do well. Ooh.
So I think we've pretty much covered the Champions League and
Yeah.
you know all the results. We'll move on to Ranieri, possibly moving on to Roma. Does everyone still think he can, still hang in the big clubs, or?
Well, Roma are currently sat fifth in the table at the minute. Just had a look then. So they're in quite a difficult position. It can either go two ways. I mean, Ranieri, can either do really well and get into a Champions League spot, or not do so well. I think I think he'd do quite well.
I'd like to see. I think if they've said to him, "Come in," and if you can get us into that right up there, second, third.
Yeah.
But I think just come in and just see what he can do, no pressure sort of thing, and then push on next season maybe if he does come in. But I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a difficult task. That one.
Thing is, he's been in and out of He's been in and out of jobs for years now, Ranieri, isn't he?
It's not an easy job, to be fair. The Roma job for me, I don't know. I'm not sure actually if he'd be able to do it.
I don't know whether he's
really
equipped.
push him on. Yeah, we'll have to see if he gets it or not anyway. But obviously, he must be favourite to get it.
But I think with the Fulham squad,
Yeah, true.
he had some decent
loads of
talent
experience in
there.
that league, so.
Yeah.
To be fair though, they want his players.
No, I know, but
So
yeah, you need, as a manager, you need to be, having new signings come in who do adjust to your formations. You got anything to add, Ben?
I think it's a good appointment, really. The amount of years of experience he's had in that league.
it's not actually happened yet, Ben.
Well, no, it will be a good
possible.
appointment, I should say.
Yeah.
It would be a good appointment in that league. He's had loads of experience in that league. He's had 19 jobs, not just in that league, but over his career.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good job.
To be fair, I'd like to see it. So
It's just with the modern game changing so much, you do see a lot of these old managers flounder because they can't adjust to it.
Yeah.
one thing I was just going to mention quickly, off topic, was the fact that obviously there's been another incident for an away fan and in Paris in PSG. So I thought we could just bring that up on just club safety and just, do you think they're doing enough? I thought that would be an interesting one to bring up for me.
I think it's hard to police. It's very hard to police.
Yeah,
You look at.
extremely hard.
I'm in Plymouth, a little town like Plymouth. Whenever they have a big game, the fans have different, separate pubs, and sometimes police cordon off the pubs to stop people. Obviously, it's like doing each other in. But the problem you have there, you can't police everyone. You don't know who's going to the game. You don't know who's from where. If they're not wearing colours, you don't have a clue who they are.
Problem is, I feel like this is only happening more. So I don't know. Maybe this is something that obviously needs to be looked at a little bit. But to have something like that happen at a game, is quite bad.
And at a Champions League game, it sort of heightens it.
It's such a big game. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Obviously, maybe some money needs to be invested in just general safety things. Obviously,
Yeah.
a few things have happened, in like France over the years, so it's hard, but
But then, like I said, I think it is the fact that the clubs don't really want to be paying to police it 24/7, or they don't have the resources to. 'Cause especially in lower league football,
yeah, it's really difficult in the lower leagues.
it's quite a difficult one, but it's an interesting topic nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we'll move on.
Yeah.
We've had some quite short topics today, but it's a Thursday. Not really too much has gone on.
It's just short and sharp.
Yeah. So I think I'll do my little feature I do every week. Memorable player, like honourable mention of the week. And this week I've got Mario Deno Patrick Melchior. Obviously
I thought you were going to
retired.
say Mario Balotelli.
No,
So fair enough. 'Cause he had
retired
that,
Dutch footballer.
he had that photo, didn't he? Put it.
Retired Dutch footballer. He's not really done anything in the in the week, or I just saw him on Twitter and he's got his hashtag love. So yeah, I thought I'd give him a mention. You know, I'm gonna curse myself here. I used to be a Chelsea fan when I was younger, and he was one of my favourite players. So I had to give him a mention. Played at Wigan.
Actually, did he?
Ah,
Did he? I didn't realise he played at Wigan.
yeah, he's played at Wigan, Rennes, Birmingham. So yeah, quite a good career. Not great international, but you know, you can't have it all. But he played with Hugo Rodallega. So that's my honourable mention. And next we'll have the quiz, orchestrated by Jack Ritchie.
Yeah.
Richie's quiz of the week.
Thanks, Gus. This week's quiz
Lovely
is a
jingle.
Champions League special. And
Ooh.
obviously this week we've got Ben, Gus and Jay. So hopefully Ben, I'd like to see Ben win one. And
I'm not
obviously
good at Champions League.
Well, already I'm bollocked because I'm a Europa League fan. I like your Ludogoretsons all
Jay's obviously won 2 out of 3, so and Gus did quite well on the week he was in actually. So yeah, so the first question, and whoever's closest is when was the Champions League, aka the Europa Cup, founded?
Oh bugger!
So I'm going to start with you, Ben.
Oh no, I actually have no idea. This is gonna
It's a
be
bit of a
bad.
guess. Yeah, it's only a bit of a guess one. It's not
1990.
okay. But Gus.
1952.
Whoa.
Okay, Jay.
1970.
All right. I'll tell you what, Gus, you have had a right effort there. 1952, you said. 1955. So you have done well there, Gus. Very well. 1 point for Gus.
I knew
What a
it
start.
was in the 50s. But I
what a
wasn't
start.
sure which year.
Okay.
Cause
I'm going to do the quiz a bit different. I'll go round and everyone can just have one guess, and then if they get it, they get it. So obviously it's a bit more fairer that way. But I'll start with you again, Ben. Anyway, the question is, who has won the Champions League the most? Start with you.
Real Madrid.
Okay, Gus.
Do you want actually how many times they've won it, or?
No, you can just have the answer. Who it is, and I'll do a bonus. Okay, Jay, I'll do a bonus one of how many as well after. I'll go round again. Jay?
I'm going to throw one out there. Real Madrid. Voice break.
Okay. So, you're all right with Real Madrid?
I do.
Okay, and I'll start with you again, Ben. How many times do you think they've won it?
Ooh. Oh no. Since 1950? That can't be right.
1955. But yeah, go on.
20.
Okay. Gus?
How is it? Okay.
14.
Okay.
11.
Jay?
11.
Okay. I'll tell you what, Gus, you're on fire.
No.
Jay, you're not far
come
off.
on.
You're not far off
What
with
was it,
11.
13?
It's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spurs.
So that is Gus with 3, Ben 1, Jay 1 at the moment.
Get
So,
him going, Ben.
Okay.
The show's gone to shit.
I'm not going first.
Okay. I will, this person is who has played the all-time amount of matches in the Champions League.
In the Champions
And this
League.
player does play for Real Madrid, but you all will have one guess. But just one
Currently?
guess. No, just plays for Real Madrid. Well, it doesn't matter if he's currently, or could be currently, could be not.
It's not going to be
You know what I
current.
mean? Okay.
Played
I'll start with you again, Ben. Sorry.
Oh, cheers, pal. Zidane.
Okay. Gus?
Don't know. I'm just going to say Ronaldo.
Okay, Jay?
Iker Casillas.
Jay!
Yes.
Well done!
Get
I
out.
was right. Oh, that's a good one. Well done to
He
get
was
that.
he was number 1 for years at Madrid.
Keeper on
Yeah.
his session.
That's a good one, though. Jay's pulled it back to, so just behind Gus now. All right, the next one
That's what she said.
is the all-time goal scorer. Starting with you, Ben.
All-time top goal scorer of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Are you going to know that?
That's just a guess. Right.
Zidane.
Zidane.
Gus. He's in his room there. Gus.
I'm going to say Raul.
Oh, you
Okay,
dick.
Jay.
Whoa.
I was gonna say
You can go.
Raul. He's played. He's
Is that
played a
where you're
lot.
going to go as well?
Yeah, Raul.
Can I change my answer?
Okay. It's actually Ronaldo.
What, Fat Ronaldo?
So, no, just
Just
R9.
the
Cristiano.
R7, sorry. No,
Sauce,
R9.
sauce. Don't say that again.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say. Oh, why
Oh,
did I
I'm
say
sure you were.
Cristiano? No, honestly, I was.
Alright.
I thought.
Yeah,
The
gonna
next
say it.
one.
I was only going to say Ronaldo
Can everyone
or
just-
Messi.
Let the quiz go on.
Okay,
Oh,
the last one is the most assists in the Champions League. Starting with you, Ben.
Ronaldo.
Okay, Gus.
If he scored the most, he's not going to assist the most.
He's a god.
You're not.
Yeah.
He can do anything.
Kaka.
Okay, Jay.
Raul, because he played alongside Ronaldo.
Okay. You'll be surprised. It is actually Ronaldo again.
Oh my god, no! I'm not having
What
that.
are you saying?
It is, I promise you.
It makes assists.
The funniest
Come
part
on.
is, Ben, you've still lost, but well done. Well played.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
So, Ben on 2, Jay on 2. This week's winner is Angus Edwards.
Get
Oh
in.
god, what's happened to this world?
Can we have a non-league quiz next week?
No, I want an Icelandic
it's a-
Premier Division quiz. I love those sorts of leagues.
Right, that's this week's quiz done.
Right, that's that
I hope
done
you
and
enjoyed.
dusted. Yeah, you probably didn't, but
Gus did, I reckon.
I didn't. We've got our next topic, going back to the football stories of the week. Man City getting done for financial fair play again. What's everyone's opinions?
Yeah, well, it seems that this has happened, like, is this like third time or something? They've
I
been
think-
under
At least.
investigation?
I think they're going to be alright with just their squad depth and like their youth coming through. I feel like they've got a good team there and a lot of players. I think they'll be alright.
Yeah.
To be
Worst case scenario, they
Yeah.
get an embargo. They've got all these youngsters coming through.
Exactly, it would only be a good thing anyway. Like you'll see the likes of Foden and like players like that. Shevchenko will play even more. He's breaking through now, but like Foden especially, like will start playing a lot more games. So that would only be good. And they have got a good squad. They've got a lot of players. So
Yeah,
And they could be getting Champions League ban as well.
yeah.
I feel
they?
I feel
that
like they can still do well.
I think the Champions League ban would hurt them.
Do you remember? Do you remember this happened to Barcelona, and they still ended up like buying players? So it feels like it doesn't really mean anything. It feels a bit pointless.
They can still do business. The players just won't be coming till
Yeah,
the end of
That's
the.
the thing. It can always be appealed, can't it? As well, I would imagine.
Yeah,
So like, it's not always just like set in concrete sort of thing. There might be some sort of thing where they can still. I suppose there's probably some sort of thing where they could maybe even possibly loan players and
yeah.
things like that. So it could be anything
But
like
I think
that.
in a
We just
market
have to
where
see what happens.
you got your like Kylian Mbappe's who are going for like 100 odd mil, I think there needs to be a limit to how much you can spend in one transaction for a player.
Yeah, I think to make it a little bit more fair, but then I suppose the
'Cause it
game is
does.
just about money these days, so I suppose it would take a. It might be affected. It needs
That's
to be
all it
looked at
is. At the
though.
end of the day, it's a business. But obviously,
Mm.
this is just my opinion. I don't think there should. I think there should be caps. I don't think like teams should be allowed to go and fork out 100 mil on a player. I think there should be a cap of say 80, 90 mil, and leave it at that. Because otherwise, you're just
The
going to get
problem is
extravagant
with a
fees.
cap
Yeah.
is obviously it'd work with different like nations. You're not gonna make the whole football like world a cap for one
It's
price.
difficult. I feel
So
like it's
England be
too
on a
late
cap,
now.
and then
Now that we've hit
Spain.
these
Oh,
crazy amounts, I just feel like it's going to be too late to bring it back down.
Thing
I
is, we're
just,
going to get to a stage where players are going for 200, 300 mil, and I think
I
that's
suppose
ridiculous.
at the end of the day, that is just what. If the clubs want to pay it, then they're going to pay it, aren't they? That is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, but
The only
then you've
people who
also
it
got
really affects are really is probably the fans a little bit, who aren't really getting like. I suppose they're getting a good player, maybe possibly playing for their team, but they could be getting that money used for better, like just for better things in the ground, for example, like discounted tickets, things like
yeah,
that. So
I mean, imagine, imagine like 10 years ago we could buy like a world-class striker for like 5, 10 million.
yeah,
And now look at it, it's bonkers how much it's escalated in a decade.
just imagine a player like Berbatov would go for 100 mil now.
yeah.
Yeah,
What a player! I don't know. It's just crazy. Like some of the players back then, what they would go for these days. But
It's like even talking about like Real Madrid and that Raul. He went for like 5 mil at one point in his career.
yeah.
I think Madrid signed him for what 8 or 9. So a player of Raul's standard going for that now, it would it would be talking 130, 140 mil at least. It's a joke, and the problem we're going to have is what we have now. The English talent. You're looking at say Trent Alexander-Arnold. You'd probably value him about 40 to 60 mil, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
In this climate,
possibly over.
yeah. In this
The
climate,
thing is, as well, which I read the other day, I think it is only rumours, but there's talks of Sancho going for 100 million already.
yeah, it's just
So
ridiculous.
it just shows how we're apparently Man United and PSG. So
It also affects teams lower down the pyramid as well. Like look at Bolton, Coventry,
Yeah,
and teams even lower down as well, struggling like Gateshead and teams like that. They just can't compete. They ain't got the chairman like put that sort of money in.
it's difficult because, like, obviously they would lose their best players, but then they could be getting a lot of money for some of these players. So, but like, I suppose if it's like, I'll ask you this question, Ben. If you had a world class striker at your team and you got offered, for example, 2 million for him, would you rather keep him or take the 2 million? Yeah, I just would like to know.
In our kind of current financial state, take 2 million.
Exactly. So it's difficult because then if there was a cap on certain, like in the leagues and things like that, then you wouldn't maybe get offered that sort of money, which could be life changing to smaller teams.
yeah.
So it works on both both sides. in my
I think
opinion.
from the team's point of view, when you are offered, say, 3 or 4 mil, you're a League One club. You're going to accept.
Yeah, we
Like
got
Crew
promoted
with
to
Ali.
yeah. Yeah. Was it Crew?
I think it was
MK
Crew.
Dons.
It was Dons. Yeah, sorry. It's
That's
similar
right.
badges. But yeah. What was that? 5 mil, 6 mil?
Yeah, it was like with us. We got promoted to the Championship. Like we got offered 8 million for Jordan Rhodes, our best striker, but 8 million was 8 million. Like it was important to keep him, but 8 million funded all our business for like the next 2 years, and we
Yeah.
signed a lot of players. So it just shows how, like, when you have a good player, sometimes it is better to take the money because you can reinvest it in more. It can go into the academies, so it can be beneficial to the academies and things like that, which could push through even better players and more players. So
See, I think
sometimes it's right.
what annoys me is the fact that, especially with British fans, I do hear it a lot that, oh, there's too many foreigners in the game, there's too many. That is why. Because I'm not being funny. If you're gonna I'll use a player as an example. Perhaps Suarez, left back. I'd rather pay 3 or 4 mil for
Palace
him.
player.
Yeah, it would be. I'd rather pay 3 or 4 mil for him than, say, pay 20, 30 mil for an English left back. And that's
Yeah,
why we have so many foreign players in there, because they're cheaper.
but
It's
then
just common
what I
sense.
like is that finally you've seen that you've got a good player like Wan-Bissaka in your
Yeah.
ranks, and you've pushed him through, and now look, you've got one of the hottest young English players around at the
Yeah,
moment.
he ain't going nowhere.
So, now you say that.
He ain't going nowhere. If anyone says different, I'll fight you. He's not. No, I hope he doesn't.
I
Cause
hope he leaves next chapter. I don't know.
oh yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'm not happy. No, he's not going to go. He's loyal. Look at Zaha. He sodded off to United.
It's Zaha.
I think he slept with Moyes'
They
daughter.
always come back.
I think he slept with Moyes' daughter, and might just be rumour, but that's what's happened.
Probably is a rumour.
I think, yeah.
And then he come
Probably not
back.
confirmed.
I don't know if
He
you've seen
suddenly
Moyes' daughter.
started sitting on the bench for a while, didn't he?
Yeah. Must have started talking when he was on the bench. But anyway, back onto topic. Back onto topic. I got well off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously financial fair play. I've forgotten where we were.
I think we pretty much summed it up, to be honest.
We've pretty much hit the nail on the head, haven't we? Spoke about
Yeah.
English talent, sort of the prices going up and fluctuating when cheaper players are coming in from abroad. So we'll move on, and we'll move on to the next topic, which is, will Leicester get Morelos? I can't say it. You know the striker, Morelos. Yeah,
Yeah.
a 22-year-old slab of a
28
man.
goals, I believe, he scored this season with 4 red cards. So
4 red cards.
I think some of them were a bit harsh, to be fair, but apparently I saw an interview with Gerrard saying that there's not a chance that he'd be leaving, and I wouldn't imagine they'd let him go to Leicester with Brendan Rodgers, but
Although,
I suppose
like we were saying last week, it is the Scottish League.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what I mean?
suppose the only good thing about, if you weren't able to find the gem in the Scottish League, like your Van Dijks, maybe you could consider Wanyama, maybe, that you can get them at a cheaper price.
Yeah,
but it's just still a big gamble. I can't see Rangers letting him go for any less than 20 mil, maybe 25, to be honest. So, and that's still a lot of money to be gambling
He's then going to
with.
sign a 4-year contract as well, so.
Yeah.
For the
I
Scottish
can imagine
League,
he might want to go, but I can't see why they would let him go. Especially for anything less than 20. You wouldn't.
They would
if
definitely want
he's
to go
scoring
to a
20.
lot bigger club.
when they've
Get out of
signed.
that pub league and get to a proper league, and then see if he's as good as he is in the pub league.
Oh no, the
Oh no, the
Scottish
Scottish.
fans are
No.
The Scottish are raging right now. The Scottish are raging. It's all your
Well.
fault, Ben.
If you support anyone other than Rangers or Scotland, Rangers or Celtic, leave a comment below. And,
Give us a nice
support
little.
Rangers or Celtic, don't bother.
Right, I think we'll move on from there before we piss too many Scots off. Is an inferior league though. We'll move on to the weekend predictions, which is the final segment of the podcast. Aren't you relieved, guys?
Yeah.
I am, yeah. I'm
And
tired.
you're always tired. You're like a panda. First fixture. First fixture. Crystal Palace Brighton. I'm saying 3-1 Palace. We're home as well. Half 12 kickoff
2-0.
now.
2-0 Palace for me.
I'm happy with that. Ben?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go
Gus?
2-0.
I think
I'll go
Zaha
2-1.
1, Batshuayi 1.
You're not talking
Yeah.
over me, please. 2-1 Palace.
Oh, Brighton.
Holly gets the word in. And he moans that I'm talking over him.
It's all banter, lads. Let's calm it down.
Absolutely,
Huddersfield and Bournemouth.
It's got to be Huddersfield when I'm going up there, aren't I? So,
Bournemouth.
Got to be back in the
Bournemouth.
4-0
back in the
Bournemouth.
town.
4-0. 4-0.
Yeah, I think 4-0. I think 4-0
We
Bournemouth.
will be talking about this after, Ben.
Josh King hat-trick.
Nah, Callum
Sure,
Wilson.
there'll
Is
still
he
be one
playing?
left then. Who's got the fourth?
Borich?
Yeah.
Goalkeeper when he scores a
Callum
penalty.
Wilson's questionable for that game, so I'm not sure.
He'll still go run rings around him, injured.
Yeah, with a broken leg.
That leaky back four. Oh,
Those championship players.
we'll move on. Southampton, Tottenham.
Alright, Tottenham.
I'm
2-1
saying
Tottenham.
I'm saying draw. Only because my bet got quiffed.
Ooh.
Do you
Yeah,
think Southampton are capable of actually getting a draw against the team, though?
yeah. I think Southampton are. I think they need
I
to.
think 3-0 Spurs for me.
Oh,
That's a bit steep.
Leicester, Fulham.
Oh, it's a difficult
2-2.
one. Ooh,
2-2.
I fancy Rodgers to get his first win. I'm going to say 1-0.
Yeah, with that dodgy manager at the helm.
I think 3-1 Fulham.
Ooh.
I'm an optimist.
2-1 Fulham.
I want to see Fulham get out of it. So does Gus.
To be fair, I did like Fulham's performance against Chelsea, even though Chelsea were poor.
Yeah, they weren't bad. They
But
did
Fulham did
alright.
play well, to be fair.
Cardiff, West Ham. I think a 1-0. 1-0 Cardiff.
Uh,
Nah, 1-0 West Ham.
2-0 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham.
I'm the only one who's gone for the Cardiff Blues. Newcastle,
Bamber's out as
Everton.
well, remember?
Yeah.
Who's out?
Bamber.
Oh right, yeah, they are screwed.
Out for the rest of the season.
I'm changing my vote.
Well, I can't wear my Bamba shirt. Not that I would, because obviously Palace are playing earlier on. But Newcastle, Everton.
No,
Nice.
it's got to be Everton.
It's got to be a
got to be
Newcastle
Everton,
1-0 win for me. Solid
Oh.
performance.
I'd say
Rondon.
2-1, 2-1 to Newcastle.
I said 2-0 Newcastle.
Man
3-1
City.
Everton.
What? Bloody hell, you've already said one, haven't you, guys? 3-1 Everton, you
I
reckon?
was just getting my opinion in there.
Twice. Man City and Watford.
4-0
4-1.
City.
I think 4-1 as well, so I can't really argue with those. Gus?
4-0 Man City.
Alright, Gus, copy me.
Well, first he was eager to get in, then he was a bit reluctant. Liverpool,
You just say
Burnley.
what everyone else says.
4-1 Liverpool.
Going on to Sundays.
3-0 Liverpool.
2-0.
What part of weekend predictions isn't Sunday?
2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah,
2
3-0.
Liverpool. Yeah. Chelsea Wolves.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
For me, that's got 2-2 written all over it.
Yeah, draw. I might even say 1-1.
Ooh,
2-1 Wolves.
you monster.
0-0.
Ball draw. Arsenal United is the last match.
Oh, that's a. I wonder if United have got any players back.
United need it, but then Arsenal need it as well.
Arsenal
And
actually
United got
lost
a lot of
tonight.
injuries.
I don't know if you've seen that as well. Arsenal have lost
Yeah,
tonight.
I saw that.
So they're going
Yeah.
to be on a bit of a downer. So
Has anyone
in
seen
case,
United?
Man United are going to be flying like kites. So
They're going to be
stop
what?
it, United flying like kites.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to say 2-1 United.
2-1 United. 3-1 Arsenal,
Yeah.
I'd say.
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. With Man United's injury list and playing in the Champions League.
I'll probably go Richie 2-1 United.
Should I just say yours for you guys?
Yeah, good. Yeah, please do, mate.
I don't mind.
Two.
One more I'm going to mention
And 2 become
is
1.
Villa Birmingham. Obviously, that's a
Villa Birmingham.
Oh, the old, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, got
Birmingham derby.
to mention that.
Villa
2-0
3-1.
Villa.
Everyone loves a villain.
Is it 2-0 Villa, Richard?
Yeah.
I think they'll keep a clean sheet. 2-1
2-1 Villa.
Villa, yeah.
Yeah?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, that covers our weekend predictions. It's been a slightly shorter podcast because there's not really been much going on. If you didn't like the podcast, slag us off because I love it. If you did like it,
There's comments are going to be Scottish people on there. Thanks, Ben.
the Scottish League has its worth. The Scottish League's great. It's
Can you
English
do a
football
Scottish
that's
League
not.
special, please, guys.
Next podcast.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. What about Kilmarnock?
No, Richard, don't do our next quiz should be about the Scottish League.
Yeah.
I'll think about
I
it.
want a Scottish League quiz next.
I want to see it in the comments. Someone
Yeah.
say it in
Next
the
week.
comments. I'll do it.
Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this podcast. Put down the Scottish quiz if you want one. And like I said, slag us off to the end of the earth. I love seeing comments like that. Not that I've seen many, but I think that wraps up the podcast, lads. So you might as well say bye as well. Seems like I'm just
Peace.
talking. Richie, you gonna say bye to the
See you
viewers?
later.
See
No,
you
yeah.
later.
Alright, wrap it up, lads. Have a good one.